Hello everybody, I hope you are well. Time for a bit of escapism as well as some healing. And I thought it was about time that the Faeries came out again. They seem to have been in my mind this week. So we are going to go to the Babbling Brook, and this is a warning. This is called the Babbling Brook instrument. It's come from Russia. It's a relaxation instrument and can be used in cleansing, a bit like the rain sticks you might have seen. But if this annoys you, you might not want to do this visualization and healing. It won't be going the whole time. Okay. Alright, so we are going to go to a Babbling Brook today. And before we start, I'm just going to give you these two high vibrational stones to hold, the Celestite and the Caribbean Calcite. And these are the throat and crown chakras. Amplify your energy and hopefully give you clear visualizations. Okay. So first of all, we do need to cleanse. So let's shake out that energy. Just shake your body a little bit. Sigh out. And relax. So I'm just going to place my hands on your shoulders and just imagine the roots of a tree growing down out of your shoulders and down past your hips and knees and down through your feet into the ground below you, and they grow downwards and downwards and downwards, pushing down through the soil and past the roots, deeper and deeper and deeper, until they root themselves deep within Gaia. Maybe they reach down to the very center, the very core of the earth, where they find a giant stone to wrap themselves around. And maybe some of them root down into the crystal and mineral pools of the inner earth. But wherever they have rooted, you should start to be feeling a bit more calm and centered within your body, mind and spirit. And just sigh out for me again. Breathe it into the earth. And if you need to do another release, take a deep breath in from the skies above you, holding the air in your lungs for a little while and breathing it out. Then if you need another breath, a deep breath in from the sun above you, holding the air in your lungs for a little while and breathing out any anger and frustration towards it. And then settle your breathing down into its natural pattern, feeling a bit more calm and centered within body, mind and spirit. And now We need to protect. We always ground and protect before visualizations and healings. So I would like you to imagine a candle flame at the center of your being. And that candle flame glows and grows, and as it does, it pushes out of you, through your body, in front of you and behind you, to the sides, above and below. And as it glows and it grows, it creates a ball of light, completely surrounding you with protection. It pushed everything out of your body that was not yours, that you want to get rid of at this time. So now you have grounded and you have protected. And I'd like your permission to start drawing some Celtic Reiki symbols. And first of all, we're going to draw the yew tree. Ew. 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 That is a distant healing symbol in Celtic Reiki to work backwards down the timelines and forwards down the timelines. And next we draw another master symbol, the elder tree. Rish. 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 Another very protective tree, known as the witch's tree. And it is starting to flower at this time. Tiny little white flowers. Some people put them in their champagne. Others make elderflower cordial. And if the berries are left on the trees for long enough, elderberry wine. So a rich tree, full of nutrients. And the first tree, the yew tree, is a very cleansing tree. It is slightly toxic. That's why they use it in cancer treatments. But both master symbols in Celtic Reiki and symbols of the Ogham. Just breathe out for me again. And I'd like you to imagine that you are in the woodland. And we'll call this your inner grove. A little clearing or a nice space, perhaps in your imagination or even in real life. And just have a look around. There may be various trees and plants. There may be an area for you to build a campfire and a little altar at another time. And this is a place that we Druids travel from. It is a safe space in your mind. I'm just clearing you as I talk. And it can be the start of your inner world, a place to retreat to when you're having a hard time in your daily life. Whether you just come here and sit down, resting your back against a tree, or travelling outwards from it. And at various times, little paths will open up and you'll want to travel down them. And today, as you look at the plants and trees, a pathway opens up. Before you enter it, a white hind appears, a deer with big connections to the Faerie. The hind, by some people, is thought to have been Faeries. By others it represents the Cailleach in Ireland and Scotland, the old maid who looks after the herds. And it is said that the Faeries milk these white cattle up on the hollow hills at night. And she brings in gentleness, calmness and serenity, with the ability to lead you with grace into the forest deeper, deeper into the ethereal landscape. And we start to follow her now. She looks around, making sure that you are following her. And we start walking along the pathway. Noticed how the sun shines through, keeping her lit. Watching the light dance perhaps around her or even through her, and feeling those shafts of sunlight. And as the leaves dance, creating dappled shadows, you feel the light and the shade that the world is. I'm just going to run this fossilized fern all the way down you, aligning you, bringing the Fibonacci sequence into your cell structure, your spinal cord. The Fibonacci sequence, the golden mean or the golden ratio. Pi. And many of these are unfurling at the moment around the world in the northern hemisphere, in perfect symmetry. And you pass many of these now in their early stages, just poking up and unfurling. And as you walk and notice each plant and tree, you absorb its energy. And again, this is an Ogham stick. It's one that I carved myself with all of the Ogham symbols along them. And as you're walking past these trees, and if you're looking at this, just open your eyes and have a look and just run your eye down the stick, absorbing the symbols. And you may even want to focus on one or two of them, even if you're not sure what they are, just accepting their healing and letting it imprint into your aura. So I'm just going to hold this vertically and run it down you as well as you walk behind your new friend into the forest. Deeper and deeper and deeper. And soon you start to hear the sound of running water. And the hind leads you out in front of a stream, the Babbling Brook. As you stand and watch this on the bank, the water flows past. And you decide to sit down here. So you take your shoes and socks off. And you sit yourself down on some wild thyme, breathing in the scent, cleansing sweetness. And as you sit, you knock the scent and it rises up around you, relaxing you still further. Some of it may even be flowering, where it's in the sun all day, and it might be a hive of activity. Breathing it in and feeling it work through your auric field. As you sit down, watching the Babbling Brook. Now we've got things to empty out of you, so stick your feet over into the water and open the holes on the bottom of your feet and consciously let any sadness, any anxiety, any pain, any heartache exit your feet and let the water wash it away. And soon you hear a rustle in the leaves and 3 figures emerge. One, a male fairy, the king of the Darkwood elves. He has authority, credibility, and status. He stands, does a little cough to announce himself. And he walks over to you, thanking you for coming today. He tells you that they are going to help you. And that your fairy godmother is just emerging from the flora and fauna now. And she stands for revelation, discovery, and epiphany. So if you have been working on any ideas, she might well help you work through them or put them into motion. And then another fairy flits into view, airborne this time, Salut, who stands for health, vitality, and energy. And these three are just going to work around you as you sit here with your feet in the Babbling Brook. So I'm just going to leave you now for a few minutes in their care. The hind has nestled down also on the thyme. Feel the little hands sending energy and adjusting things in your auric field. The sun shines down and the water flows around boulders. Bringing you peace, healing and tranquility. Helping you to work through any problems. The fairy godmother, she soothes your brow, gently brushing you like a mother soothes a child. Saying, dear, dear, don't worry. Everything happens in its own time. And things that seem hard and difficult now, you will learn and grow from. I offer discovery, revelations and epiphanies as you grow and learn from your life. The king of the dark wood elves gives you authority over your own life. He then takes a rowan branch with a flowering pom-pom, for a better word, and the luish is a protective tree. It has a slightly musky, woody scent, and its leaves and flowers brush through your aura, all the way down to your feet. It does it down the front line, moves around to your sideline. Then to your back line. And then to your other sideline. Bringing the energy of Luis, of the Rowan. And then he just wafts it around you. Bringing in the authority, the credibility, the status, and the protection that you deserve. And then finally, Salu, the angel with the butterfly wings, the fairy, although some people do say fairies ascend to angelic status, so I'm not wholly wrong there. But she brings vitality, healing health and energy, and she moves forward now, first of all, with a clear quartz crystal. Just smoothing it down your auric field, amplifying the healing that the other two Fae have gifted you today. Down the sideline, down the other sideline. It's getting light now. I've been up very early today. That's why the light's changing on me. And then over the top and down the back line. She then flies over to a syringa tree, a lilac tree, and she picks a bloom. And then she flits back and she holds this under your nose, telling you to breathe in its beauty and breathe in its scent. She tells you that this was once a woodland nymph, and that the Greek god Pan wanted her for himself, but she took fright at this and fled, and she swore that he would never have her. And when he gained upon her, she turned herself into a lilac tree, a syringa. He could not have her in the way he wanted, so he cut a branch and made it into a flute, so that he would always carry her with him. So syringa brings the pipes of Pan, and if you listen carefully, you may be able to hear them. She now brushes down your aura. Calming you and relaxing you, bringing vitality in after this rest here. Making space for the energy that you need perhaps to complete the project or work through the problems that the fairy godmother outlined. Remember, she brings revelation, discovery and epiphany. Perhaps Salu brings the energy in for you to gain authority over something, credibility and status that the Darkwood King brings in. Now, each of them will step forward for a gift. The water flows past. For me. So, as you have now got your gifts, fairy godmother passes you out a bag called a crane bag in Druidry for you to put your gifts into. And the King of the Elves thanks you for coming here today. And thanks you for being mindful of the area, and treating it with respect. And he tells you to come back anytime you like, in peace, in love and in light. Salu flits off now, back into the shrubbery, and the fairy mother smiles and cups your face in her hand, offering you her love and her kindness and her wishes. and she too melts off. The king gives you a little bow, and he grandly walks away, leaving you and the hind here in this place. The hind stands up and gives a little shake, indicating that it is time for you to go now. So you put on your shoes and your socks. You pick up your crane bag, and maybe you pick up a lilac bloom, and maybe you retrieve the rowan bloom, and also maybe you pick up the thyme and crunch it in your hand, breathing it in, getting the sap on your skin and your hands. Hold it to your heart and make a wish. And then you throw it into the water to be carried down stream and out into the oceans large, carrying your wishes and your love around that mighty river that girdles the planet. And now the hind starts to walk back the way you came, and you follow with your gifts, feeling renewed and vibrant and relaxed. You walk under the ogham trees, absorbing their energy and magic into your life. And you also walk past the ferns with their Fibonacci sequence, grounding in your healing with every step you take. And soon you arrive back at your own inner grove. And I'd like you to sit yourself down. The hind comes over and just nuzzles her head, and you stroke the side of her neck, thanking her for being your helper today. The pathway closes behind her and she jumps off into the undergrowth, leaving you now to ground by regrowing those roots out of your body and into the earth below you. If you are sitting with your back against a tree, just let it support you, perhaps slowing your breathing down. Nobody wants anything from you at this moment. Nobody needs anything from you at this moment. Love and light, my friends. Love and light.